Welcome. This is the wrap-up of the Monday, November 22nd City Council work session and meeting. The work session tonight, we had a couple items of note. One is we reviewed the assessment policy, or I should say special assessment policy, that was created in 1993 and has been amended 3 times since that point. The city has been working on this for a while. They are recommending to the council, and we agreed with their recommendations. It will come before the council at the December 6th meeting, and that is to remove special assessments on overlay and reconstruction. They will stay in place. If the proposal passes, they'll stay in place for any new road construction, but for overlays and reconstruction, assessments would be eliminated in the future. A number of reasons for that. By statute, the city is required to prove that the special assessments will increase the value of the residence or property by an equal amount. That's becoming harder to justify on reconstructs and overlays, and in fact, St. Paul is now in court over this issue. So we would eliminate tracking payment, the need for special hearings, and again, it's difficult to justify or prove the increase in property value for parcels. We had that discussion. We've been talking about it for a few months, and December 6th, we will vote on that. We also heard at the work session from Diane Lane, who is the Itasca County Housing and Redevelopment Authority Director. She noted that as of July 1st, 2021, the merger between the Grand Rapids HRA and the Itasca County HRA has been completed. She discussed the focus of 2021, which was on preservation, and she shared 3 of the properties in Grand Rapids, what was done this year and what is planned to be done next year to keep those facilities functioning. Some of those facilities are up to 50 years old and in need of electrical repair or ventilation work, windows, water heaters, boilers, bathroom replacement after 30 years. That was an interesting discussion, as we heard from Diane. She also talked about the opening of Aurora Heights, which for many of our residents, they know that as the former Riverview School site. The apartments will be ready in a week here on December 1st, and the 2 townhouses will be ready on January 1st. Both of those are already sold out and waiting lists before they even open. So there certainly is a need for housing in our community. With that, we moved on to the regular council meeting, and the first thing we heard under public forum was we had a visit from Kelly Chandler, the Itasca Public Health Director. She was here to highlight the COVID situation in the county, and as many residents have heard, we have had the highest numbers in the past 2 weeks since the pandemic began, even worse than before back in 2020. We've had 595 cases in the past 2 weeks and 24 deaths in the county since September 12th. She shared how the emergency rooms are on and off diversion because of being at full capacity and beyond, and that's the case in all 3 clinics and hospitals in the county. And she shared numerous data on vaccination and the fact that anybody can be vaccinated or get their booster now. All adults can be. The breakthrough rate, there are breakthroughs. We're certainly aware of that. There have been 685 in the county out of over 23,000 cases, and we know that the breakthrough number is less than 3%. So she just emphasized that we should be doing everything we can to do our part so that the emergency rooms and ICU and even the clinics and hospital in general can be open for the regular needs of our citizens. With that, we moved on to a consent agenda and a 4 items on our regular agenda. The first is we gave final approval for the final plat of Hawkinson Commercial Development. That is the land between Walmart and Home Depot. We've discussed that at a preliminary meeting or a former meeting where we gave approval to the preliminary plat. Tonight we gave final approval for that project to go forward. And that is the subdivision of the property. And then if the owner of the property wishes to do so, they can sell it and then issue building permits to construct things on that site. We also we adopted a resolution awarding the sale of Public Utility Commission General Obligation Utility Revenue Refunding Bonds, which is a long way of saying that we refinanced some debt at the public utilities. And we've been talking about this at many meetings now, going back a few months. The interesting part of this, at least for me, was we got to see how Standards & Poor rated the cities for the purpose of this bond and how it reflects on our financial outlook as a city. And there were some good things that we saw within that, and we retained our double A- rating, which is a good thing. And there was a number of interesting stats as to why they thought the city was in good financial shape. We then heard from the fire department, who wished to purchase 2 Milwaukee MX Fuel rocket tower lights, and what those are for is to help illuminate emergency scenes. Those will be paid for out of the fire department operating fund, and other departments could use them if needed. And the council approved that as well tonight. And our final item was a contract update for the golf course concessionaire. Beginning December 2nd, next week, the golf clubhouse will be open for a new golf simulator that was donated to the course. And there's a fee for using that. And you can take a look at that on the golf course's website. It will be open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. And to do that, we need somebody there to collect the fees as people come in. And so the concessionaires have been approved to collect that money and then turn it over to the golf course, and in return we will pay them to do so, or I should say the golf course will pay them to do so. And with that, we adjourn the meeting. I do want to make note that we will see people in 2 weeks on December 6th, but want to note that the normal council meeting time has changed. We normally meet at 5. On that night, we will meet at 6:30. And the reason for that is we will have our Truth and Taxation meeting at 7 o'clock. So we moved the council meeting closer to the time of the 7 o'clock Truth and Taxation meeting. So we are meeting at 6:30 in 2 weeks and not at 5 o'clock. And with that, we'll give you an update at that point. But thanks for joining, and we will talk to you then.